All right, welcome everyone to Weekend Rental. This is episode 60. We're almost old enough for the early bird special. My name is Ryan, and as always, I'm joined by Andy.
Hey.
And Nate.
What's going on, guys?
Okay, so if you're new to the podcast, you can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, Stitcher, and of course, Geekade. So Geekade, if you are interested in gaming, movies, comics, beer, whatever you're geek, you can find it all at geekade.com along with our content. Let's get into opening segment. Buy, rent, burn. What we do in this segment is we all pick a game for a given system. This go round is the Game Boy Advance. We play the games that we all pick individually, and then we decide which ones we would personally buy, rent, or burn. So this episode, Andy has gone with Lady... I guess we didn't decide. Lady Sia or Lady Sia?
Sia.
Anybody got a preference? Okay, we're going with Sia.
Yeah, because it's my favorite.
See you
singer.
later, because it's a piece of shit game. That's not true. We're going to talk about it. Metabots, Nate has gone with, and I've gone with Super Monkey Ball Jr. Let's go back up to the top. Andy's pick, Lady Sia. And we will read the description according to Game Facts. So you join Lady Sia, bold defender of the world invaded by a race of ruthless beastmen. Help her use her sword and her wits in an intense battle across land, sea, and air to free her people. Acquire the magic elements to defeat the giant bosses and invoke Sia's shape-shifting power in a final showdown against an unforgiving foe.
Yeah.
I don't know if we all saw that foe, but...
No. We saw some mole people.
And some rats.
Yeah. This game is just basically an action platformer with a sword jumping around some. It's kind of got some exploration to it as far as finding gems and stuff like that. But overall, I think the big thing you're coming to this game is probably the art style.
Yeah.
It's got some really good cell shading, cartoony art style with some pretty good animation overall. I don't know, I don't know of another game that I've played in a long time that I looked at and was like, I really like this. And then the next minute be like, this looks like dog shit. Like it kept going back and forth. It was really strange.
Yeah, it's hard to pin down if it's a stroke of genius or chalked up to laziness. I kind of was with you. Like at first I was like, this looks like puke on my screen. I was like, no, maybe they're going for something. And then it starts throwing the mechanics at you. You've got the sword play, you've got the jumping, you've got the traversal. But the level traversal is all over the place, right? I mean, there's a million mechanics. There's a ton of verticality. The graphics at that point kind of fight you because you don't know what you can jump on, what you can't. There's a little bit of mana or, like magic as far as like the beam you shoot out. And then there's also a stealth mechanic. So I kind of like... After a little while, like I didn't know what to take. Like I didn't know if it was a pointed direction for an art style and gameplay, or if it was just a group of people trying to throw everything they could at something and make it seem like it was a cohesive package. Because to me, it didn't feel like it came together.
Yeah, I think this they definitely threw everything they could possibly throw at this game. Like, oh, let's do this. All right, sounds good. And then they just keep on. The tutorial kind of at the beginning where you're chasing that guy through the level. I mean, it was one mechanic after the other. Okay, now let's do this, and now let's do this. I was like, we're running out of things here. This is pretty impressive. I think the sound in it was, I mean, they went for the art, they went for just the different mechanics, but the sound was definitely missing in this. There was the droning song over and over and over again on it. And then the enemies had no noise whatsoever. I know they're mole people, but still, I think moles make noise.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of want to give credit to it because like there is like some stuff that I really like in this game as far as, the fantasy elements, the amount of platforming. It's just the controls felt a little sloppy. I loved the overworld though, with like getting like freeing your bird and like flying to the next village.
Mm-hmm.
But some of it was just so buried in that art style. Like even that first village outside of the starting level, where you like hit that brick wall, or not brick wall so much as like a building, and you're like, what happens here? And then you go back a little ways and there's a well, and I'm like, all right, like it's not clearly defined, but in this game, what does pushing down in the well do? And it continues my progress. And it's just like little things like that where they had great ideas, but like the subtlety and the visual fidelity to pull it off kind of hindered a lot of that. And I will say checkpoints. I think you come across one checkpoint in that whole like 10-minute first opening tutorial.
Yeah.
They're so far and few in between. Like, that's not good. That's not good in a game like this, especially on a portable.
Right. Something I saw in this game that I don't know if I've seen before, at least in a portable, is you could move the camera around a little bit and it would stay that way. So if you looked up, like it would scroll up a little bit and it would constantly stay that way as you platformed as well, which was, it kind of makes, the handheld screen a lot more useful when you're able to do something like that. But, the most of the time you're using that to find secret areas that might have an extra gem or something.
Right.
Which I found, if you go down there and get those things, if you go for them, it's not just a secret area. Yeah, you found it, but then it dumps you off at like way before. So you have to kind of like start over. And it's like, that's not very rewarding for one gem,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you showed this, like a screenshot of this game to anybody, though, at this point, they would say it's Scribblenauts. Like that art style
Very similar.
is very similar.
Yeah. It's definitely ambitious. I don't think it was helped by the, smaller screen, the larger sprites in that game. Like that's common with like GBA games, is like that resolution really kind of made or broke games. I'm thinking like the ports of Donkey Kong Country, where it changes the game a lot, and I think that's kind of what happens in this game. I think there's some good mechanics underneath though. Let's move on. Nate's pick. I'm hoping we all played the same game, because this is like
So many
Pokemon.
versions.
Right. There's like Metabots XYZ, but we're gonna go with Metabots Metabee for the description here. So join Icky, great character name, as he begins his journey as a meta fighter and tries to save his hometown of Riverview City from the evil Rubber Robo gang. Icky must solve various mysteries and help with the help of his friends and Phantom Renegade. Interact with characters and control Metabots, popular in the Metabots TV animated series. Can Icky save the world from the treacherous Rubber Robo gang and become the #1 ranked meta fighter? It's all up to you.
Say that 3 times.
And nowhere in that description did it say Pokemon,
No,
but it should have.
it is definitely a Pokemon clone for sure. This is definitely not my style of game. And I saw the title and I was like, maybe it will be like a cool fighter of some sort. And it's not. It drops you in kind of this open, I guess, factory or lab where you're walking around talking to people. It's definitely RPG, big time RPG, and I don't have the patience to be walking around talking to every single person. The best part of the whole game was when you get to the lab door where
because he played the whole thing.
Yep, the best part of the game is when you get to the lab where the Metabots are, and the guy won't let you through, and so then he punches you.
Yes, that's awesome.
Like, that's stinking awesome. And so
but
I kept on
do
doing
that to
it.
progress.
Right? Yeah, you have to do it to progress. So, this game, I'm sure people enjoy if you're really into those kind of RPG games, but it's just, I'm not a Pokemon fan. I know, sorry, but this is Pokemon 100%.
Yeah, so basically what Metabots was like it was a TV show made to cash in on the Pokemon craze, and this is a game meant to continue the cloning of the Pokemon craze. And in Nate's defense, when he picked this game last minute because he had originally picked Boktai, The Sun Is in Your Hand, before I went to look at the list for this week and was like, that game had a solar sensor that literally required the sun. I'm pretty sure we can't all emulate this. So it was kind of a Hail Mary. So it's not all on Nate on this one. I will say I'm with Nate. Like RPGs, action RPGs, like Pokemon, none of that's in my wheelhouse. The art style in this game was good. I also liked getting punched in the lab. The battle, once I finally got to the first one before giving up on this game because it required way too much of my time, was animated well. It was just cloned almost to a T outside of the battle sequences, I felt. Again, I don't have a ton of Pokemon experience, but I have enough experience to know that this was like opening village Pokemon, like to a letter. I mean, it was all well done, but like you're copying another game. I mean, you're never going to succeed in that formula.
Yeah, you start out in a town with 4 buildings. One of them is a scientific lab, and you have to talk to the scientists there. Like, that is Pokemon. Every single Pokemon game that's ever been, that's the starting town, and that's the structure. And for them to just be like a complete ripoff like that. And the thing is, like, there's nothing that happens in there. Like, why do you have to be in that science lab? Nothing happens.
Right. I just wanted to leave.
Reference.
They wouldn't let me leave.
Yeah, I couldn't go
ready
home.
to go
I was
home.
pissed.
Yeah. It was just a reference to Pokemon. But yeah, I think in this game it's more to do, less capturing creatures and stuff, but more like getting parts for your robots. I think that's kind of, which is similar to like
the evolutions.
More like Mega Man Battle Network, if you ever played them.
Okay,
it's
sure.
very similar to that too. They're kind of the same type of game actually. But one thing I did appreciate, like you said, was, it's a different humor and a more of adult humor, I think, in this game compared to Pokemon, which is very like stale and very, kid friendly and whatever. This one is like, yeah, you get punched. You steal money from your mom to buy the robot.
Yeah.
And then your dad
dinner, fuck that. I'm buying a robot, bitch.
Yeah. Then your dad comes home and like, sweet, this is awesome. Let's get it running.
With the part that he got from a mysterious phantom who's like, give this to your child. What? Ha ha ha. And he runs away. It's a very parental skills in this game from the very get-go are questionable. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. I love the setup when the mom's like, here's $50. I don't have change, or I don't have anything less than this. It's like, I wonder what's going to happen with this $50.
I know, but he only spent $49.95 on that Metabot. He could have brought home some crackers or something.
Yeah, it was a good deal.
At least some tea.
Yeah, I don't know. The fighting seems like it's kind of interesting as you went along. Maybe you get a lot more strategy in it. I don't know.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like was like when you play a Pokemon game, like those battles are very pointed and like quick. And while the animation was very impressive between the battle bots or Metabots, it was way too long with each turn.
Yeah.
Like it drove me nuts.
Yeah, they were doing like the whole Advance Wars style battle, but like you have
and
to do
it seemed like it was geared up
more.
to have like what, a small army of Metabots on screen on each side. So could you imagine if it was like 4-on-4? You'd be watching that for 15 minutes each turn.
Yeah, that would be kind of rough.
This game's kind of right up your alley, though, Andy, isn't it? Don't you love these kind of games?
Yeah. This, if I was younger and had more time, I would totally be
pining for a buy, Nate is. I see.
Well,
Andy, that's your game, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Buy my game.
I didn't play the other version, so.
I did watch some YouTube videos on Metabots, and I don't know if it was a GBA version, but it was more of an action platformy, kind of Mega Man ish.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And I was like, that's the one I wanted. I want that one. Which one's that one?
That's what I thought I was getting into. I was all excited after you sent me the name, and then I was like, there's 10 of these. Which one do I emulate? I'm like, I went with meda. Which one did you guys go with?
Same.
Yeah, that one. Yep.
Okay, we all
How
we
in the
all
world
picked
that
the same
happened?
of the 10. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I definitely wanted the other one, but
But
that's the way it goes.
I think there's a GameCube one too, which I don't know what that's about.
probably. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with this, though.
No.
It's just, it is definitely a complete ripoff of Pokemon, but
Mm-hmm.
that's okay. It's not broken. It's fine.
It's a great game, right, Andy?
Yeah.
All right. Well, before you poisons the well anymore, I'm going to go on to my pick. Super Monkey Ball Jr. So the description on this just sucks. Hey, party animal. It's time to get your ball rolling. Play as Mimi, Gone, or Baby. Over 60 floors filled with steps, bumps, moving platforms, and more. Includes 4 of your favorite party monkeys. Party monkey games. Monkey Fight, Monkey Duel. They all start with monkey. Golf, and bowling. Multiplayer Madness supports up to 4 players. So, this game came hot off the success of the Monkey Ball and Monkey Ball 2 games on the GameCube. That was when Sega was really getting into third-party publishing. The GBA had close ties to the GameCube, of course, which Nintendo was basically the home to Monkey Ball, so Sega made a port. It attempts to make a pseudo 3D game and bring the gameplay over. The biggest problem is with Monkey Ball, you're basically, think of it as like a marble labyrinth game. You control the playfield, you don't control the marble, and you navigate the marble, in this case, a monkey in a ball, hence the name, to the goal in the time limit, and then also try to collect bananas, not monkeys, for bonus points. The problem is that on a console, this had a analog stick, which helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It also had not another analog stick, but on the GameCube, it had the C stick to also help you adjust camera and perspective. And it had graphical fidelity. So what you have on the GameCube is, or not the GameCube, but the Game Boy Advance is like
Hot trash.
Do you hear my cat just like? Okay, never mind. Not hot trash, but what we do have is them trying to adapt a game to a system that does not have analog. It can't really do 3D, and it has no way to really allow you to control the camera well. It does okay in what it attempts to do, but you quickly find, at least in my opinion, the D-pad is not a good replacement for the analog stick. And also, a huge seller for the original Monkey Ball games on the GameCube was the party games. And really, outside of like link cables, because there was no internet connection with the GBA, that's not really going to be something that you're going to take advantage of. So it's kind of a wasted addition to this cartridge. I don't know what you guys thought. I know what Nate thought.
It's hot trash. No,
Of course.
I'm just kidding. No, the D-pad made it so difficult. It wasn't enjoyable. I think that was kind of the big factor for me, where I missed the joystick for sure. And the screen playing it on that it wasn't great. I don't know.
You emulated it.
I just don't like the GBA. Like as a whole, I really just don't care for the graphics, and I don't know. I feel like Super Monkey Ball was just added to that, affirmed that more for me, that I just don't really care
It's a Super
for it.
Nintendo. It's a better
not,
Super
though.
Nintendo.
It's
It
not.
literally is.
It's not.
I think if this game was on Super Nintendo, it would have blown my mind.
Really?
Right, but the Super Nintendo couldn't have pulled this off because a GBA is an upgraded Super Nintendo. It's an overclocked SNES.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Literally.
Well, I mean, that's fine.
So
I
you hate
still
the
don't like it.
SNES,
No.
which means you hate Nintendo.
Yeah. Which then you hate NES?
Do you work for Al Qaeda, Nate?
You hate
ISIS.
video games?
Yeah, I mean, I like Super Monkey Ball. I do. I'm not a big fan of it on the GBA.
It's a cash grab. You're right.
Yeah.
It's so hard to judge this on its own because it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like Monkey Ball should. It doesn't have a smooth frame rate. The camera is is essential in
Right.
that type of game for sure.
And you can't context it in a post GBA era, right? I mean,
Right. I mean, it's like kind of like saying like judging Mario Brothers on Atari, you know, if you were going to play it on Atari, it wouldn't feel right. Right. You know,
right.
it would
On
probably be,
American.
yeah, might be impressive on that system, but it just doesn't feel right. And that's kind of why I'm spoiled by, you know, Monkey Ball being a console game for the most part.
Yeah. Well, we looked at this game just in time for the Switch port of the worst game in the series. So
Is it a Wii port? Is that
yeah,
what
it's a Wii port, Banana Blitz, which people are unfairly harsh on that one, as far as I'm concerned. But it is definitely the worst one. Minus maybe this one, probably this one. I don't know.
How can it get
Buy
worse?
this game.
Like, isn't it all the same? Like, how can the quality vary that much?
People had issues with the controls in that game. Like I borrowed it to a buddy, and he's like, I can't even play it. The controls are bullshit. And like, I don't know if he didn't calibrate his like Wii sensor bar, but I blew through the entire game with no problem. So I don't know. Like, it was motion controls because it's the Wii, of course.
Sure.
You know,
And you're
we must
just
have motion
far more
controls.
superior.
Well, I mean, I wasn't gonna say it. As far as monkeys and balls go, well, yeah, I'm pretty good. I mean, I don't want to brag.
I think Super Monkey Ball speedruns are probably one of my favorite things to watch, though. It
Yeah.
is insane how some of those guys have broke those games.
They're so good. There's something satisfying though about this game and playing like the beginner segment, completing 10 levels after hitting the warp in level 2 to go to level 5. So I've invested 15 minutes into this game and I've already hit the credit sequence. I don't know. That feels good. I don't know what it is about that. I didn't deserve it, but I made it.
Yeah. The opposites of Metabots, I guess.
Right? Do you guys hear that? The cat is just going apeshit back there. I gave him a rubber mat to scratch so he didn't scratch my furniture up, and he just, whenever he feels like it, he just rips the shit out of it.
Huh.
Good for him. Let's go back up to the top. Picks. I don't know what to do here, Andy. What are you gonna do? Don't let Nate judge.
I think it's very,
you.
very clear.
No. Don't listen to him.
I'm buying Metabots.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Yes. I might win one, boys.
Fuck you. I'm torching that shit, Nate.
That is totally a game I would, if I was younger and had that game, I would have been all about it for sure.
More Pokemon? Yes,
yeah,
please.
exactly. But obviously don't have the time anymore to do something like that, but it seemed like it was pretty quality, and I kind of like the whole like just not caring. Like in Pokemon, stealing your parents' money would never happen. But in this game, it happens in first 10 minutes. So yeah, my rent I think is going to be Lady Sia. I think it was kind of impressive what they were doing, but overall a little lacking. And I just couldn't do Monkey Ball. Like the frame rate in the camera, it just killed the game for me. I couldn't do it.
It's monkeys and balls.
I know. If I
You
would
hate
have,
monkeys.
yeah. I mean, if they're trapped in balls, I guess, and they're only at 30 frames per second. Or
Up
less.
to 30, I think that's generous. Like 10.
Yeah.
10 to 15 is a solid lock 10, 15 if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. Nate?
Yeah.
Nate, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm really torn on this one.
Oh, gee, I wonder which one's he going to buy. His own game.
No, I'm actually not. Lady Sia, I'm gonna buy. Just because that's more of a game that I would want to play. It's enjoyable. It's a little messy. It is pretty messy, but I could see myself playing it for a decent amount of time. I don't know. I just have a hard time picking an RPG. I really do, just because I don't have experience playing RPGs, so I have a hard time picking it, but I know it's going to piss Ryan off.
Do not base that. No. I'm not
think
burning your game. I'm not burning your game.
when you lay both games out, Metabots is better, is superior than Super Monkey Ball. So that is going to be my rent, even though I'm not an RPG guy. Just relax. And then I'm burning Super Monkey Ball Jr. because it's trash.
Oh, relax, because you're burning my game.
Yeah, exactly. The D-pad is awful in that. Yeah, the camera is weird. It ruins Super Monkey Ball for me. It's not great. Ryan, don't hang on to it. Just throw it away.
Okay.
Frozen, let it go.
I don't like D-pads and analog stick games either. Just like I don't like D-bags in Byron Burn, Nate. I'm gonna burn Metabots. I just
Of course you would.
It's not my game. It's not gonna be like objectively. Is it the best and most polished game in this bunch?
Yes,
absolutely. But I'm never gonna want to play that game. Just like I don't want to play Pokemon. I mean, if the Nintendo version of that can interest me, this certainly isn't going to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy Lady Sia. It's a mess. It's an interesting mess. And it's intriguing. It tries to do too much. But I still will buy that. And I'm gonna rent Monkey Ball.
Because it's yours.
Super Monkey Ball Jr. Because it's not a Pokemon clone. It is the worst game in the Monkey Ball franchise.
It is an animal and a ball. It is a Pokemon clone.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's probably more so than Metabots, now that you mention it.
So I'm pretty sure this is like 3 buy rent burns in a row that you've just burned my game.
Your game fared better than mine.
No, you burned my Metabots.
Yeah, but only 1 out of 3.
Yeah, but I need
You did better than me.
I feel like the ultimate win is when you actually pick my game.
Well, don't fucking burn my game. Maybe I will.
Oh, this
But
is
anyway,
how it is.
No, it's good. What I was gonna say is, I brought this game remembering how much I hated it, and I was actually more technically impressed with what it does now than when I had played it initially back in the day. That does not make it a better game. Just like Andy's memory of Sonic Spinball being good does not make it good today. Right. So, it's that sort of realization. If we weren't doing Buy Rent Burn and I had to pick like the best designed game of these 3, Nate, you would get it, but it's what I want to play.
Andy, I want you to edit that and just loop that over and over and over again.
Well, what you should have done is when you he said Boktai is not going to work, you should have said "fuck you," deal with it, and Ryan would have bought it because I know he likes that game. So.
I had it, I love that game. It's good, but I don't know how you play without a sunlight sensor. I mean,
flashlight.
It sounded like emulators work with flashlights.
Hashtag fake gamer. I don't know.
That was the weird thing. Was like it wouldn't work with fake lighting sources. You needed actual like solar lighting. Yeah.
The Kojima influence on that compared to Death Stranding now.
Was Kojima in that?
He made that game, I think.
Okay, I knew it was Konami. I didn't tie that together.
He had some. I don't know if he produced all of it, but he had some input in that.
Yeah, really cool game. I didn't get very far in it because I bought it on clearance at Target when I was in college, and I had the original Game Boy Advance. And as much as there might still be a stigma about adults playing video games in today's society, a 20-something sitting under a tree playing Boktai in the sunlight was probably not going to get me any favors. So I didn't progress far. It was really cool though, like the way you had to use that to like unlock certain dungeons and progress and even defeat enemies. Like you needed to wait until the sun was like pinnacle, capture those rays, attack that vampire.
So it's a Pokemon clone you're capturing.
Don't belittle Boktai like that. Let's not do that. So, where do we end up? What'd you guys all buy? Was it all different? Everyone was different, right?
Yeah. No, you did Lady Sia as well.
We all did Lady Sia.
So here's one. Yeah. God damn it. Yeah. Feel bad for II. He deserved better.
He's got plenty of good games.
Yeah.
Game Boy Advance is not one.
He's a monkey. He's got short-term memory issues. He's just going to throw his shit in 5 seconds anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. Buy Rent Burn in the books.
Meda Ball!
All right, so let's move on from Byron Burn. Let's talk about the news, what we've been playing, what's out there in the world. I know we're all itching to talk about Frozen 2. It's not out yet. Hopefully next time we record we can talk about it. I want to talk a little bit about BlizzCon though. I think in the wake of some other controversies, Blizzard had BlizzCon and kind of addressed every franchise that most people in the Blizzard community had wanted to hear about. We got details on a new World of Warcraft expansion. They detailed Overwatch 2, which sadly, a lot of this stuff got leaked a couple days ahead, which is kind of what happens. Overwatch 2 adds some single player stuff. Largely the same base game though. But more importantly, at least for me, they finally, after the crucifixion of last year, finally addressed Diablo 4. They sort of led into how this game's going to be so much more dark and edgy. It's fucking Diablo, Blizzard. I mean, I don't want to break it to you. It was kind of already there. Like, we've seen it all. They showed the art style. They showed the trailer. They showed the gameplay. I will say the level of detail in the world seemed better. It seemed to keep a lot of that 3/4 perspective that Diablo 3 carried. But for me, I was excited. I just to have that officially announced by them, seeing some gameplay. I was a huge fan of the Diablo series, and especially Diablo 3 on consoles. So to know that I'm getting a 4, it's going to have 4-player co-op. I mean, that's good, right? Like, nothing mind-blowing from BlizzCon, but a lot of the things that I was looking for. I don't know what you guys thought.
Yeah, I didn't see much of it, but did they say that there's anything like new, like any new features to Diablo, or is it just a new game?
It's
A
just
darker
Diablo.
take on Diablo. Yeah, I didn't see anything like earth-shattering. It was very vague though. Like the gameplay trailers didn't show a lot. I mean, but it's been what
more
7
can you
years?
actually add to it though?
Yeah.
It's Diablo.
You could bring back the barter house.
Yeah.
People actually sell stuff again, but
Yeah, that was the big thing last time, and then they ended up getting rid of it, right? Like the
Right.
auction house. Yeah.
well, and it took them a lot of time to like really fix Diablo 3 and like fully flesh out the end game. Because in my opinion, that was the biggest problem with Diablo 3 was that they didn't have the rift system in the actual end game in. So that was a very short and unsatisfying experience until that game had been out about 3 years. So I'm hoping they capitalize on that knowledge and have that right away in Diablo 4. But to me, like, as long as they keep the formula of like slash upgrade, loot, repeat, like that's all I want. I just want more of that in new locations. So I'm super pumped.
Did you actually watch the whole BlizzCon stuff?
Not all of it, no.
No.
I just watched some trailers and some reveal gameplay.
I always forget about it. But did they feature the red shirt guy? Is it red shirt guy or what is it? The guy that always is talking about the lore of WoW. You've never seen that?
No, I don't think so. No.
Oh, there was way back in the day. They would take questions from the audience, and they'd be talking about, asking just different questions about the game or lore or whatever it is. And this guy asked this big question that actually made the developers say, "Oh, I think we missed that, and we'll fix that." And then he's done it every single year. I think he missed 1 year or something, and he knows more than everybody else about the WoW lore and different characters and stuff like that, which is kind of interesting. So he's been featured every year on BlizzCon somehow, which is kind of funny.
Huh. They probably talk to him first now. Be like, where's this story going, guy?
He's a consultant.
He works for Blizzard.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
I think BlizzCon has taken like a different feel since they've been acquired by Activision. Like, I mean,
well, Blizzard
right?
in general, right?
Right. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they hit the right notes. I think capitalizing on the steam of like Overwatch is still relevant. We just brought it to the Switch. We're gonna do more with it because Overwatch is a great game for anyone who hasn't played it. I don't know that Overwatch 2. I mean, really, it's more of like a season thing.
That's
It's
what
not.
it
It's not
sounds
really
like.
it's not a true sequel, right? Like this is
Yeah.
kind of what Fortnite did, but putting a 2 on it and putting a physical box copy on a shelf is probably going to be good for people who maybe haven't played the first one. So I don't know. I'm excited about both of those possibilities. I could give a crap less about WoW at this point, but I'm glad they're still supporting it, and that game was a big part of my life for many years.
Time
I
to
think
get
it'd
back into it.
Yeah,
It's time.
I'm good. I really want Diablo though. Like I really want a bunch of people to buy Diablo 4 when it launches because that is such a good multiplayer game.
Or you're
I-
just going to buy everybody a copy?
I mean, I bought 4 of the last version, so I guess I could buy everybody a copy and save myself the trouble.
Are they doing the same thing as last time, PC first for the first year, or is it going to be all?
Right. I mean, that's true. I don't know. I don't know that they addressed that, but that is a good point because I feel like Diablo 3 didn't find its footing until it got the home ports. I feel
Yeah.
like people were largely disappointed. Then they fixed the end game stuff. Then they brought it to consoles, and
A couple
then it
of
really
good characters, yeah.
right. But then they kept the disparity between Seasons that was only on PC, which Seasons made a huge impact for Endgame, and then a year later or so, maybe a year and a half, they brought it to console. So I think if they were smart, they will do day and date updates, or at least within the same month for both. I hope,
Mhm.
because I think community has really grown on current gen hardware. But it's tough to say, right? Because I mean, what is a console anymore? Like that line is blurring with Game Pass and Xbox.
True.
I don't know anymore. Does it matter? I just want it to be the same game regardless of where I play it, and I want cross-platform. That's that's the thing, right?
Yeah. You have to wonder, is this going to have a battle pass? Like, that seems like it could work well in a Diablo game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. That's a great point. You know what else I want in a Diablo game? Loot boxes, please.
that's all it is just like a random thing every time.
Just
right?
loot boxes. Yep. You find the loot goblins, but instead of like beating them to death, you run up and pay them money. And then they throw a portal up and you can go in. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Good stuff though. Like maybe a little understated. I feel like a lot of big news came from Blizzard, and I feel like the world maybe didn't care as much as it would have 2 years ago. And I think we live in a post Fortnite universe, and that's just the reality of things. But
Yeah. Well,
I'm excited.
Like you said, it's more the same, right? They don't have a new IP. They don't. Nothing groundbreaking, as far as new features or anything.
But Nintendo's been doing that for like 20 years, and we still eat it up. So
Yeah, true. Speaking of that, today they had the Target Black Friday ad just came out.
Killer fucking Queen, $15.
Yeah, definitely getting that.
Buying that.
But I just love it, like the front page. It's like the doorbuster is Breath of the Wild for $30. It's like,
yeah,
that game is years old now.
Also, the doorbuster was that Arcade 1-Up Marvel cabinet for $250. I was at Target last weekend. They had it sitting in the toy aisle for $250. How was that a doorbuster?
Are you picking that up?
No.
You will.
No, I'm not. I'm done.
I'm done.
I wanted the Turtles one. I got it. It's glorious. Yeah, the Target ad was good. It was a very good selection of games, like in a tier that I would pick up. I don't know that I'm going nuts. I'll probably buy that Crash Insane Trilogy, 15 if I can.
I'm gonna get the cart one for 15.
Yes, also
Yeah.
I thought that was great, and then Killer Queen Black I think will be my buys.
Yep.
I want Mario Tennis Aces, but I don't know if $29 is good enough. I don't think it is.
No.
No Switch Lite bundles though. I was really expecting Switch Lite bundles. Like system plus game $189,
I mean, they're
Didn't
still
see
trying to
that's
keep
true.
the price down and try to separate it a little bit from the Switch.
Yeah.
So they're not going to throw
Well,
a game in probably.
Well, they'd throw a game in for free. Still separates it.
Well, okay.
They could, yeah.
But they won't.
Somebody will.
But they
We
won't.
haven't seen everybody yet.
Okay. But they won't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the magazines, like the Christmas magazines, are hitting the mailboxes right now, and
What the fuck is a magazine in a mailbox? It's 2019.
I know it's super rare, but my kids
Super
are
Rare Games.
yeah, super rare magazine. My kids are going nuts for those things right now, and they're doing just the classic circling things. My son,
What do you have, a subscription to Finger Hut?
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, that's a good pull.
It's like the Reddit Center for mail order magazines, I guess.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I have no idea. Previous owners probably with their Target ads.
Current resident, yeah.
Yeah, current resident.
NRA, what the fuck?
Yeah, my son is going crazy on the Nintendo Switch stuff. He's like, Dad, I really want this. I want a Switch Lite, and he wants blue and, all that stuff. So
Yeah. I tried to convince my son to get the Pokemon version. I showed him today. I was like, look at this one. He's like, nah, man. He's like, I just want gray. He's like, I really like green. I'm like, but they have that sweet aqua. He's like, nah, I like gray. I'm like, all right, boy. I'm like, that's vanilla is shit, but we're gonna look into that.
Come on, kid. Let's talk resale value here.
Yeah. Well, after the job he did on my 2DS XL screen, I don't think there's much resale value. The
Right.
screen protector, and he still scratched the fuck out of that.
It's a 2DS.
So
I mean, they're
that's
supposed
so
to be
cool,
door
though, that-
opener.
Yeah, that's true. It's so cool though. In like 2019, your kids are still like fucking
Oh my
Sharpie on the
gosh.
magazine. Like
Mhm.
that's, I haven't seen that since I was like 10.
yeah, it's been kind of fun to, have them do that. And I mean, they do exactly what we did, circle
course.
every single thing on the page. You could just hand me back the magazine and be like, just all of that, Dad. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we did the same thing as
Yeah.
kids.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious to see what the other Black Friday deals are this year. I think, reality is like this is outside the launch window. This is going to be the pinnacle of the Switch year, right? Because we're going to hit next gen coming into next Christmas season. Until the Switch gets a revision, like it's going to be at its highest. Like this next year is really kind of it.
Yeah.
And then it's going to did they get a big enough install base to continue momentum when we've reached a hardware pinnacle where we're going to get to that point, right? It's going to be PS5 and whatever the Xbox is, and then it's going to be Wii status. You're going to get the same named game on the Switch, but it is going to be a completely different game because it will not make sense to downgrade it to a point to function. So I don't know what to think about that. It's interesting.
We're kind of already there though, right now, right?
Well, we are. Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
I guess
pretty
when
close.
I'm thinking like Witcher 3 ports, but then I'm remembering like that game came out like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
And even then, it looks not very good on the Switch as well.
Right.
So,
right.
but
Yeah.
there's not going to be. I mean, EA is pretty much done. They don't do anything on the Switch.
EA's neat. They're so stupid. Like they could. I mean, I've heard the Plants vs Zombies is coming,
Okay.
but yeah, they're so stupid not to capitalize and make that money. But they don't care, right? I mean, they're getting their main hardware stuff.
Realistically, what do you think the lifespan of the Switch is? I mean, past a revision, whether it's a revision or new Nintendo console, I mean, where do you think we're at on this? 3 years?
I think 2022 is when you get like the new console. I think next year they might even start talking about like a Pro.
Sure. And then
Yeah.
a completely new console?
I think they will continue in the vein of Switch.
Sure.
But yes, new whatever that may be.
I would
I
love
think they're
to
gonna
see
keep
them more
themselves-
progressive with their hardware. I would
Yeah.
love to see something a little more PS4-ish.
I feel like they've been like self-satisfying in the fact though that they don't have to and it works.
Right.
I feel like the last leap they took in their mind for graphical fidelity and like out thereness was the Wii U, and in their mind it failed. Well, in everyone's mind it failed. So I think like when they played it safe again with hardware technology was when they found success. So I think they've just kind of dug themselves back into that with the Switch.
Yeah, they really haven't been like
And,
on-par players for a long time.
Yeah. Well, and like we even said it on the last podcast, like if their mobile games have taught us anything, it's that Nintendo will be successful on whatever hardware they can put out their own games on. And that could be like a fart on a popsicle. Like as long as it ran, it was made by Nintendo, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
I don't know how you play a fart on a popsicle, but yeah,
I've done it.
I think we'll see Metroid Prime 4 come out. I think we'll see the second Zelda come out, Breath of the Wild, and then I think 2022 I think you're gonna have to do the next whatever that might be.
So when we get to that point, do you think the Switch, in your mind, was a success, or do you think it was okay?
Oh, it's undoubtedly a success. I mean, they're already on par and ahead of schedule with what the PS4 did. In the same sales time frame there. I think they just announced that the Switch Lite had like 2 million units sold in the first week.
Well, not necessarily the specs, more personally. Do you think the games and everything?
I mean,
it's
absolutely.
a winner?
I mean, if you ask me, the Wii U is a winner. If I go back to Xbox 360, PS3, and Wii U, the console that I had the best memories with and like the greatest experiences with was the Wii U. Even though it was 8 to 10 games that Nintendo made me, that's my take. I mean, I don't know. Like until Nintendo puts out a console where they didn't completely blow my mind with a dozen of their own games, it hasn't happened in my lifetime. I'll always consider their consoles a success. I mean, the Virtual Boy, piece of shit. But
right.
Switch, yeah, absolutely. In my mind, success. Does it have a fuck ton of shortcomings? Absolutely.
Yep.
But does it have already 8 games made by Nintendo that I could not have like imagined missing out on experiencing? Yeah, we're there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think they ever go back to TV console only? Like, or is this like, this is the way Nintendo consoles have to be for the rest of time?
No, I don't think they need to. And I don't think the way that they've looked at hardware as far as like technical specifications makes sense to do that. Like, I think they can get by with just on the go. Like, if they wanted to just sell like Joy-Cons that synced with my phone, and that was what Nintendo was for the next 20 years, I think that'd be fine.
Yeah.
No, I'd have a hard time with that.
But that's what you really have. You have a Note phone with Joy-Cons attached to it, or a Amazon Fire with Joy-Cons. I mean, that's really where we're at.
Yeah.
I mean, I could certainly leave the services and menus and all that shit that Nintendo gives.
Air quote services, right?
Right. Just anything that's outside of the games, like I don't need. I mean, other than controller for sure, but
yeah. I mean, there's some big hopes there. Like, I hope the next time they put out a technically new hardware advancement, they understand party systems. They understand party chat, because there's a whole massive layer to Nintendo and online multiplayer that they completely do not understand, that could bring their games to a level that there's no reason Nintendo couldn't have a Fortnite. But they're just like not technically smart enough with the internet to understand how something like that could appeal to people. In my opinion,
it always comes down to party chat with you. The shortcoming, you're like, party chat, what's wrong with it?
Oh, I mean, you could say party chat, but like, let's just say online gaming in general, right? Like,
yeah.
they've clung to the fact that Nintendo is a family experience for everyone, and because of that, the internet's a scary place where people fuck each other and sell drugs and like put out hits. I mean, their own like cautionary tale against it is it has kept them behind, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
And they're not wrong. Absolutely, they're not wrong, but
I
it's
think
already
there's
out there.
I think there's a more innovative way to make a family friendly experience out of
Right.
that than what they do.
Kojima
where
has
it's-
shown us that Strand games are the future
yeah.
as far as that multiplayer experience.
Yeah.
So
Any of us going to play that game?
no, I've heard nothing great. I mean, I'll buy that one game when it's $20.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I think I would like it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough to.
It's out this week officially.
I think so.
Friday.
Maybe yeah. This week, I
Maybe
think.
it's already out. Yeah. I want to play it. I just don't think it's going to work for me in the long term, but I need to experience Death Stranding.
The biggest thing for me is I quit drinking Monster for the most part.
Mm.
And that game allows you to drink Monster
Mm.
in the game. So, like, from what I understand, that's like your water source. Like, instead of drinking water and staying hydrated, you drink Monster. Like,
Kill yourself slowly.
pretty much like Idiocracy, but yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
So, a game that I have been playing because my son got it at their birthday party last weekend. It kind of ties into the last topic of Nintendo failures. He got Luigi's Mansion 3, which I'm not a huge Luigi's Mansion guy. I've played a lot of those, but 3 has been okay. Took like 90 minutes to get to the point where we could actually play co-op because you have to unlock Luigi, which is what my son was really pumped about. But I think the most mind-blowing thing for me with that was, well, not only is it the most engaging Luigi's Mansion game I've had the experience to play, and when I say that, it's fine. It's not my cup of tea, but like it's an enjoyable experience. But the whole HUD system is based on the Virtual Boy. So in the game, they acknowledge that your HUD is a virtual Boo, and then Professor Egad goes on to basically shit on the Virtual Boy and what a failure it is, which is amazing because Nintendo scrubbed the Virtual Boy from their console timeline in the early 2000s and has just pretended it didn't exist. So regardless of anything else outside of the game, I love it just for that. Like that was pretty sweet. So like when you go into the game menus, like everything's flat red. It looks like a Virtual Boy display. It's pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah. It is a fantastic co-op game to play with a child. I will say that. And it is the most polished and enjoyable Luigi's Mansion game I've played. It's still very simple. It's still very much a ripoff of Ghostbusters, but if you've got a Switch and a young child that you want to just have some fun with, I would say buy that game. Is it worth $60? I don't know. It's worth 40 for sure.
Seems like there's a lot more puzzly stuff in this one compared to the other ones, which were much more just like vacuum everything in the room.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there is some of that because of Guigi and like the fact that you have to split up. I think each stage or each floor of the hotel you're on has 6 gyms you need to find. I will say it'd be the 2-player mechanic, the way it's implemented, like Guigi, obviously he's made a jello, so he can go through bars or he can go through little holes. So rather than like cooperatively progressing through certain things, Guigi just kind of has to go on his own. So there's a lot of time where you're like watching the other person play, but I don't know. It's fun enough.
Fair. Huh. I love how we've gotten from laughing at the name Guigi to just using it as a thing that just should
it's
exist.
awful. No, it's terrible. It still sucks. But he's Guigi.
Ugh. So I've been playing The Outer Worlds.
Nice.
That is on Game Pass now. And yeah, that game is like a very good version of a Fallout game. It's got some excellent writing. I just love. I'm really bad at these games because they take me forever. Even though this one says, "Oh, it's only like 15 hours or 20 hours or whatever," this thing's still going to take me a long time because I go through every door, I pick up every little thing, and I read like most of like the computer messages. So it's going to take me a long time to get through it, but I really love the writing so far in this game. And
How
it's
far
fun.
are you into it now, you think?
Maybe a third. I don't know. I am on the third planet, I think. Something like
What
that.
do you think your hour count is at?
15 hours maybe.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you started it because I was a little bit worried for you after our last podcast when you hadn't started that. I was like, this is Andy's game. This is the game
Yeah.
of the year right here.
Yep. Pretty much. This is the type of game that I haven't had in a long time. So pretty excited to dive deep into one.
That's what she said.
Exactly.
Nate,
Ryan?
you play games?
No. Hashtag fake gamer.
Oh.
I haven't been playing anything extremely exciting, actually. I have been playing Overcooked on the PlayStation. I want to just beat that game and be done with it.
But you're playing it by yourself, right? So no one else can yell at you.
No, I'm definitely playing it co-op. And
With?
and it's just random people
Oh,
that
That's even worse. You need to
um,
project yourself to that.
no, I mean, like, I know the people, but it's never consistent.
oh, okay.
So if I can talk them into playing it, and then they'll play like one session with me and then be done because they hate me, then I just move on to the next person. So
Experience with you and Overcooked.
yeah, it's not great, but I just feel like I need to complete it just to complete it.
And you're talking Overcooked 1, right? Not 2?
Yes. Yeah.
See, I like after we played Overcooked 2, I have a hard time going back to Overcooked 1 because like I feel like the nuances of the controls and the picking things up is so much more touchy, and then when you take out the ability to throw things,
Yes.
like it's so hard to revert to the original.
Right. Well, it's the one that was on PlayStation Network, so
For free, yeah.
yeah, so I was using that one. I've been doing that, and I still have been playing the show, which is so weird. I
know.
That's so not like me, but it is, I guess. Yeah, I've just been playing those two games right now.
So you're still progressing through your season on MLB then?
Yeah, I don't know. Not that you guys are too excited about it. I got called up to the majors.
Ooh.
You know?
I mean, I'm just kind of
what
amazed
team?
that you're still sticking with it.
Yeah, I don't know why. I really
Wouldn't have
don't know
expected.
why. Me neither. I have no idea. This is really random. I got picked up by Baltimore, Baltimore
yeah, so
Orioles, and doing okay. And then my first year got done, and it came time to sign a contract. Well, I forgot to press the button to sign it, so I never signed the contract. So they got me for $500,000 another year. So that was my breaking point, where it was just my negligence, and now I'm kind of pushing that game to the side.
$500,000 to be a lazy fuck is not bad. I'm just saying.
Well, I am a starter pitcher, so kind of a big deal.
But for the Orioles.
Yeah.
Right.
But for Baltimore.
Context this.
Yeah, so I really haven't been playing much. I want to get my retro stuff set up. Still haven't been able to do that. Because I guess why I wanted to make videos of the progress, and that slows everything down, which I don't understand why. Yeah, so there's stuff I want to get done and get set up so I can get playing the things that I actually want to play. But
yeah,
till then, I'll play Overcooked.
So while you've been like setting up, I've been like moving stuff out of my game room. So I have a small house. I'm not gonna lie, we love it. It's cozy in a good location in Fargo as far as like convenience of things. But I have a really big garage for my house. 2-stall garage, it's probably like 2.5 stall, fully
It's big,
insulated,
yep.
sheetrocked, has its own furnace. I live in North Dakota, so that matters because it gets fucking cold. And forever I've had our boat in there. So we've had our fishing boat and 2 cars, which leaves like no room. And then the boat is essentially, think of the boat as a bowl, a giant bowl that collects shit throughout the year, which is essentially what it does. So we decided this year, like, F that, we're going to move it to a storage unit. Let's get out of here. And then we have this space behind our garage, between our shed, where I've had a fort that I built for my children, and they have not played with it at all. So I went out there, my wife and I, one weekend, their grandparents were watching the kids, and I was like, you know what? They haven't touched this thing. And I took every power tool to it, and I hacked the thing to the ground. We moved the boat out there. So the boat is now stored behind the garage, winter ready, which left me with a bunch of space in the garage to do a little like barcade, if you will. So we moved this bar that my wife has hung on to because it was her great uncle's, I think. So it means something to her. It's fine. It's a bar, whatever. And I moved my arcade 1-ups out there. I moved my cocktail cabinet, Hangly Man, Pac-Man, if you will. Pac-Man's just the poor man's Hangly Man, in my opinion. And my Mega Touch bar top arcade. Got that all set up, a little bit decorated, freed up some space in my game room. So that's kind of what I've been doing recently. And then I picked up that TMNT arcade 1-up, which, I don't know, say what you will with those arcade 1-ups. I think the cost of value, at least on most of their cabinets, is okay. But that TMNT one just like fucking has me smiling ear to ear every time. Like that original artwork, just the nostalgia of being a first grader and seeing that thing in like local pizza places and getting to play those games again. My son and I have been playing the hell out of that. We've been out in the garage. I'll find myself out there like on a Wednesday night when we're not recording. And I'll just go out there and I'll play like Rampage. I'll play a little bit of the TMNT, and then I'll fire up my Mega Touch and play Photo Hunt until about midnight when I realize, oh shit, I should probably go to bed. So that's been kind of nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm liking it. We're having a good time out there so far.
Until it's -40.
Well, it'll still be 60 in my garage or hotter until I get out there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes, heat, Nate. That was the key point, the heat.
Weird. I should get some of that.
And it also comes with a half bath, which most people would call a floor drain. But I say floor drain, nay, that is a urinal, my friends.
Well, it's good for Ryan's 1s and 2s.
I was going to say, the way you go. That's
no big deal.
Touche.
It's just a full bathroom.
Yep. I can't argue that. Yeah.
That's cool. That's like the dream.
I mean, it's been fun. I mean, really, that wasn't the plan, but the realization was that, like, as I was buying these, like, cabinets, and, like, I'm going to put them in my basement. And I'm like, fuck no, they're not fitting in my basement. And I'm like, what is my other option here? So, buy a bigger house, which is an option, or just make better use of the space that I currently have. So, and part of that was Nate moving and giving me some old shelving from his game room, which I got to use for rearranging my tools, which has helped too. So thank you, Nate.
You're welcome. You're welcome, buddy.
You can come over and use my floor urinal toilet anytime you want.
Nice. My 2s won't go down there. It'll definitely plug them up.
Get some rubber boots. You can stomp them down. We'll figure it out.
Just start that power washer over there. Really push it down there.
It's a real cheese grater situation we got going on.
So what are you doing with the extra space in your game room then?
Well, so when I got that arcade 1-up, the first one, the Rampage one, I pushed a bunch of stuff over, which made my game room feel like super crunched and consolidated, which I didn't like. So I'm basically just going to move things back and let them breathe the way I had intended. I also got rid of my couch that's in my game room and got some smaller chairs, just because I felt like the couch I had was kind of like overbearing. It was comfortable.
Huge.
But now I've just got a couple chairs to like relax and play in. So it's more just back to my game collection being on display as like a little accessible museum of sorts. I still don't have all my stuff in here, but it's like I can get to all my games, so it's good.
Still think you should have put the arcade games in your boat. Then we could have taken the arcade.
There's
the
still that
arcade
option
boat
come
out.
spring. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna need a couple extra deep cycle batteries.
Yep.
We're gonna strap that TMNT cab to the front of that thing. We're gonna tool it around. It's gonna be great.
Throw some lines out and play arcade at the same time.
Heck yeah.
I always wanted to do a video on that where hook up a TV in an NES and play Blue Marlin on a lake.
Yeah.
just because you can. Why not?
Yep. Absolutely. Oh yeah. I was gonna touch on this a little bit. I saw the news broke today. So I'm gonna do a new segment here on the podcast called Communist Corner. So China has decided that its youth is becoming too distracted and stupid from video games, so they've enacted a new law. If you are under the age of 18, you're only allowed to play video games 90 minutes a day during the week, 3 hours on weekends and holidays, and you can only spend a cumulative in-game transactions per month. Seems fair. I'm right.
And how do they regulate?
Well, it's
this?
communism, so they probably shoot you if you fucking disobey. So
Kids sweating it out playing games. Yeah, that's great.
It's a good thing Blizzard really stood up for this, only to find out that they're getting shot in the foot for the microtransactions.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is China, so it's like, how do you gauge it? I mean, it's. I don't think it's wrong to see like a body of government like want to regulate it to protect its youth. I will say like this seems maybe extreme, but it's communism.
It's extreme
in China.
Yeah, there was one part like where there's like a curfew, right? Like you can't play past a certain time.
10 a.m. you're done, right?
Which that
till 8 a.m.
That's not bad. I don't mind that part if there was a way to make.
Yeah, that follows like no call laws pretty much in the U.S.
Right.
So that makes sense.
Right. But other than that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that I mean, that borderline. I mean, it's not borderline. Like it definitely infringes on free will. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Hence communism.
Right. China.
I mean, they banned Winnie the Pooh, so.
What?
Something along the lines that it looks like their president. So the president's like, no,
right.
Winnie the Pooh.
I remember that story. Yeah. He should be endorsing Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
You're going to look like any animated mascot. Winnie the Pooh is not the bad guy.
No, there's much worse.
Right.
Maybe he's too happy to be communist, though.
Or maybe that's what the communists are telling him to be.
Yeah.
Need to be very happy. Put a front on. Winnie the Pooh.
I don't know.
Could be.
I don't know if you guys saw the Smash Direct today or whatever.
No.
About Terry Bogard. Pretty much like it's all the music and stuff. There is so many SNK songs from every other franchise coming to it. And there's a lot of other like SNK fighters making cameos in there.
Really?
Yeah. But the big one was
that's awesome.
That he specifically addressed that Mai was not coming, which it's like, of course, because she's got huge tits and sways them back and forth. But that was like the big news that, yeah, they weren't going to, Nintendo said, no, not going to do that.
Unsurprising.
Yeah. Family friendly.
I am just happy to see them like incorporating SNK at all. So like we said before, like the fact that maybe most people didn't see the value or appreciate the unveil, it doesn't make it any less significant historically and culturally than it's a great tie-in to have.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like a whole bunch
Speaking
of Metal Slug music and a whole bunch of stuff coming to it.
Sweet. So that'll be stage music you can select and like anything then,
Yeah.
right? That's awesome. I wish they would bring over a Metal Slug character. Like that would have been cool.
Yeah. They don't really have anybody that's just guns though, like straight up guns though, is there?
I mean, Bayonetta's close, right? Snake
True.
isn't that far off.
Yeah.
Not sure. Speaking of giant titties, Andy and I met up at Replay Games with some other fellow gamers and played Dragon's Crown HD. There are some very enlarged female renderings in that game. Exaggerated. Giant thighs, big old floppy boobies. I named my magical wizard lady Tits McGee. Seemed fitting. It's fun.
Yeah. I bet I was thinking about that game like days after that too. Like I should go back and play that game.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this would be a great couch co-op game for me and my family if I could take out all like the dirty pervy stuff.
Yeah. Dwarves only.
Dwarves only, yes. No, it was fun. It was a good couple hours we spent throwing into that game. And we get to meet Chris, another area gamer and part of the community. So
yeah.
He played the Amazon Thunder Thigh Lady. So between that and the dwarf that Andy played, it was quite the threesome.
I was a happy dwarf.
That was a good game. I wish they would make a proper sequel of that.
Takes too much time to draw it all.
I know. It makes me really want to buy the HD port to PS4 though, if I found it cheap. It was one of those games where it was like when they announced it, I was like, oh, that's amazing. Oh, it's $40. And then it was like, I forgot all about it. And now you can't find it anywhere. So it's probably still $40
Yeah,
used.
probably.
I don't know. Who knows? Good game though.
Fun to play local co-op too.
Absolutely. Definitely the way to do it.
Your Mills Fleet Farm toy catalog is coming. Watch for it this week in your newspaper or shopper. It'll help you decide which toys to get during the grand opening of Toyland on Saturday, October 17th. The Mills Fleet Farm toy catalog, coming this week in your newspaper or shopper.
We love it!
We now accept American Express cards.
All right, moving on. And Polygon.com put out a list of what they think is the top 100 games of this decade. And we've done this before with like top 100 games of all time. Like to have some live reactions. And
nobody got butthurt or upset at all, especially me.
Right.
So this is going to go well.
I think the biggest thing is how much we laugh at how bad some of these lists age. You know? And I think this one's going to age pretty badly. But we'll I think it's already aged pretty badly, but we'll react to that as we go here. I just want to hit some deeper ones right off the bat. Let's see here. We got number 72, Mass Effect 2, which some people think is one of the best games of all time.
Haven't played it. Sure.
Diablo 3, like we were just saying how great a game that is. That's number 70.
I mean, that's okay, right? It's not even the best Diablo game, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. We got The Last of Us at number 59, which is criminal, I think, but...
Have you played Uncharted?
It's probably higher than Uncharted, but...
I mean, it's Uncharted with zombies.
Death Stranding is number 53. I don't even know how you
that
could...
just came... Oh, it's not even released! How?
I don't know how that could even possibly...
Whose dick did Kojima suck to get that on the list?
52 is Undertale. I would have thought that would be...
Guess what?
Higher.
Doom Eternal's number 1. Fuck this list.
Undertale, 52.
Okay.
The cultural reference.
So far, I don't know any of these guys.
Skyrim is number 50.
I'm on a roll.
You know that one.
I mean, I feel like that in the context of the last 10 years should be higher, but
yeah,
I mean, I'm crazy, but
that's such a landmark.
It's not even my game.
Yeah. I mean, Sea of Thieves is number 49. So it's right ahead of Skyrim. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh my god, there's a lot of dick sucking. Fucking Rare was right in line after Kojima. Just fucking polishing that knob.
Number 48, No Man's Sky.
Can we just stop? Do we have to go further?
No Man's Sky above Skyrim.
All right.
I might agree, but
Get the fuck out of this podcast.
and I like
You're
Skyrim a
laughing,
lot.
but I'm serious. Log out right now. We're done. We're finding a new editor.
We don't edit this.
True.
Number 41 is NBA 2K12.
Oh, I don't like the way this is headed.
I know what that game is, but I can't picture that being up there. Horizon Zero Dawn, is that in 10?
Oof. You would think that'd be up
No,
there.
Not. Yeah.
You don't think so?
Overrated.
That's got to be top 10, I would think.
Nah, fuck that game. 89. I'm kidding. It's great.
How about we start at number 25? We'll just go up from there.
Sounds great.
Number 25 is The Outer Wilds, which just came out this year as well. That is not the Outer
Ghost Recon, right?
That is not the Outer Worlds. It's the other one. It's like the space camping one.
Okay.
It seems a little bit like that was too fresh in their mind.
In the context
to
of the
put it at
last
that
10
high.
years,
Yeah.
that game made 25. All right. Makes total sense.
I can see where if you were into that game, that might be one of the greatest games of all time, because it's just kind of like space exploration without any hand-holding, which is kind of cool. But
So is No Man's Sky. They put that at like 45.
yeah, it's kind of like if you were like, let's say something like Myst in the ultimate form.
Sounds awful.
Yeah. 24 is Towerfall. It's a great game. I didn't know if it would be that high. I've had a lot of fun with that game. It is most definitely the highest ranked Ouya game on this list.
Oh, boy. Way to really tie it back.
Number 23, we have Rocket League.
Oh, I know that game. I like that one.
Well, that should be way higher. If you're putting No Man's Sky at like fucking 50, Rocket League's number one. I mean, I don't know what you. Okay. I what is up with this list? Like, it's so far, it's like the last 3 years. That's not indicative of a decade, but okay.
Yeah.
Fortnite's fucking number one, isn't it?
No.
Let's get there.
No.
Let's cut my balls off, throw them in the fucking incinerator. Fortnite's number
No.
one.
22 is Stardew Valley.
Okay.
Sure.
It's a great game.
Yeah, I mean, games that rip off other games to a T are great.
Yeah.
It's good.
That's the thing where like it seems like a lot of people that played Stardew had no idea that Harvest Moon ever existed.
I mean, it's the meta bots of Harvest Moon, right?
Kind of.
People are praising the game that ripped off the game.
Yeah. And it's more adultish too, with adultish humor.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a perfect analogy.
Literally is the meta bots. Yeah.
Yep.
Good on you, Stardew Valley.
21 is Counter-Strike Go. Sure.
Ooh. Really? To me, Counter-Strike is like 2000 to 2010.
Yeah, 1.6
Greatest
for sure.
100, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Go is definitely huge, but I certainly,
Right.
outside of esports, I don't know.
I mean, Ninja streams it constantly. So.
Yeah. Number 20 is Journey. That should be higher.
Fuck that game.
Oh,
I've heard of Rocket League.
I don't know. Like, I played. Andy and I have butted heads in this because, like, Andy touts this game like a lot of people, and like, yeah, probably. But like, I didn't play it, and then I played Brother: A Tale of Two Sons first, which is like a different flavor of that experience. Like it's the Stardew Valley, right? Of Journey. But like once you've experienced that, like Journey seems less significant. So
Yeah.
I guess I can't really like shit on Journey. It's just that I experienced it in a different flavor, so it didn't hold much value to me.
Yeah. I did damn near like spiritual experience with Journey.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you like his scarf? His scarf is so long, I can't deal with it. I don't know.
There's a lot of symbolism in that game. It's worth a playthrough.
I liked the Nazi flag at the end of the like third stage.
Don't remember that.
It's not in the game. That didn't happen, everybody. Journey's a great game. Play it.
I wonder if you can go in there and if there's people still running around, because that's what that game.
For sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
think so?
There is. That got ported to PS4 and everything. There's
Yeah,
definitely people.
But still, today, like once you play that game, like I still play it maybe once a year, but
yeah. Well, I mean, what? It's like 2.5 hours to play through.
Yeah,
3. I mean, it's good. Yeah.
Might be my favorite game of all time.
Wow. Good for you. That sounds sarcastic. I mean, it's great.
Not on this list though.
Okay.
They didn't pick that. Number 90 or 19 is Overwatch. It's a big game.
Yeah. Again, we're talking Stardew Valleys. Let's call it what it is. It's Team Fortress 2, right? I mean,
yeah.
Okay. It's a good game.
Team Fortress 2 didn't come out this decade though, so.
That is true. It's still being played heavily this decade though.
Yeah. Probably not as much as Overwatch though. I think Overwatch has probably overtaken it.
Yep.
Number 18 is what I think is probably a massive reach. It's Her Story. Do you know this one?
Nope.
It's almost barely a game. It's like a murder mystery, and you watch like live interviews, like video.
Okay.
And you like it's basically like searching a database of police videos.
What?
Until you're made up your mind that you think you know what happened. They never tell you what happened or anything. It's just you play as long as until you're satisfied.
And how high is that? Where's that fall on the list? What number?
18.
Ugh.
18. Yeah.
When you first said it, I thought it was the story of an unused tampon and its journey to the recycling bin.
No, we talked about Journey already. Number 17 is Persona 4 Golden, which seems
can't gauge that. Not me.
It's a great game, but it's also like that's
result.
Well, 4 came out in the PS2 in 08, so the little addition.
So it's not this. Yeah, it's not this decade. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, this is the Vita port, which added a little bit more, which made it a little bit better game. But
plus, it was on the Vita, which meant no one fucking bought it, so it deserves to be at 17 in this list, or 16, or wherever we're at.
Yeah,
stupid.
That one's definitely a cop out.
Nate's getting upset. He took his blankie off.
Took my blankie off. I'm ready to party now.
Got 16. That is Nier Automata. Great game.
Great game. Does it deserve to be at 16 on this list? No. Come on. It's so niche. I'm not saying it's not great. I don't think that even like it's top like 16 of the last like 4 years that I've played.
I don't know. I just appreciate that it's definitely not focus tested.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah, it's
a weird fucking game.
It's that guy's vision. Not a lot of games and big games get like that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Number 15 is Everything.
I'll tell you one thing, that doesn't mean anything to me.
Exactly. I've heard of that game. It's like I think you can be anything. or everything.
Makes sense.
There's just a whole bunch of shit that you can like, I'm a deer now and I'm a mountain now. And, it's almost like a physics playground, I think, kind of too. I don't know.
Okay.
Don't know.
This list is really bad so far.
Mm-hmm. This one is interesting. Number 14, Super Mario 3D World. That's above Odyssey. And Galaxy 2 came out this decade too.
I'm just going to throw this out there. I think, in my opinion, someone growing up with the original Nintendo and like seeing my realization of what I thought Mario could be in the world he existed in, fully realized in what is Mario Brothers 3, and then just kind of further elaborated on in Super Mario World. To me, Super Mario 3D World is the modern rendition of the game that I pictured as a 9-year-old. And I think it is the better game. I genuinely believe it's better than Odyssey, Super Mario 64, Odyssey, or Galaxy 2. To me, it's exactly what I want in a modern take on a traditional Mario game. So I'm totally on board with this being where it's at on this list.
I just had such a problem with the multiplayer in that, where it just seemed like they designed some things to be more multiplayer focused, and then some things were not. So when you were in multiplayer, it was awful to play.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, you have to almost stick to really enjoy the multiplayer. You have to like actively work together, and then you kind of have to stick to the first 5 worlds, because once it gets technical, you're right, like the multiplayer is a shit show, but the music is fantastic. Like, that whole orchestral score, the graphics are nice and clean and polished. The cat suit is a fucking stroke of genius. I don't know. I loved the whole package. Like, again, it's like my fucking middle school wet dream of what a Mario game was going to be. Like, I couldn't be happier with what that was. And it pisses me off that has not been ported to the Switch and that they chose to do Wii U Deluxe over that, which Wii U Deluxe, the new Super Mario Brothers Wii U is like the worst in that series. Like, hands down. Why port that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think 3D World is great. I love it.
Thank you.
Probably more than Odyssey. Odyssey's good, but 3D World, you said it perfect. It's exactly how I picture it to be.
That's true. Odyssey is not really Mario.
Right.
It changed so much.
Yeah, and I think that's the dividing line, is like if you're the person who grew up prior to like the 64 Marios, like to me, in my mind, there is a traditional Mario game, and then there's 3D Mario games, which in my head is 64, Odyssey, Sunshine, Galaxy, and Galaxy 2. And those are great games in their own right, but they don't fall into the tract of like what I consider a mainline Mario game. And like, I think 3D World is like the fully 3D version of what I want a 2D Mario game to be. So I'm an old fucking curmudgeon though. So
Number 13, we have Gone Home, which I actively dislike that game.
I mean, how many walking simulator type games can you really get into, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was like the first big one for sure, but
that's another situation though where like Sony really touted something that like, it's almost like it was like they're like No Man's Sky Light, I feel like, because I feel like Gone Home is really pushed on PlayStation and like PlayStation Network, and just kind of didn't really live up to the hype.
Yeah, I played through it on PC, I believe, when it first came out, and I don't know. Most of that game is a very good atmosphere and very creepy, and then at the very end, none of it lived up to that. Number 12 is Return of the Obra Dinn, which I've heard good things. I've not played it yet.
Me too. I am actually really looking forward to that, because like after listening to the deliberations from the Bombcast and Beastcast, now that it's coming to Switch, I'll probably pick it up. I mean, it was PC or Steam only before, so I didn't have
Yeah.
a way to play it. Although I probably could now, but yeah, seems cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
This list is so weird because like, how do you consider something the greatest of all time when like it didn't make a mainstream impact? I don't know. I don't know how they're looking at that. Do they think this is like an art piece, or seems like it, right? I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, so far it seems like they're ranking, recent indie games higher than older indie games.
It's like a bunch of hipster 23-year-olds like were smoking pot and wearing their like tight rolled capris and talking about what their best games were.
So Polygon.com, yeah.
Does that mean?
Uh,
Shots fired, Andy. Shots fired.
they have a great web design team. I'll give them that. Number 11 is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. PUBG.
Okay.
It's funny how the year that came out, people thought it was the greatest game of all time. Won best game of the year, and now none of those people play it. It's a living game, and none of those people are still playing it, really. So
Nope.
it's weird. All right, we're in the top 10 now, guys.
Can't wait for the cream of the crap here.
I might catch one.
Number 10, we got Fortnite Battle Royale.
I appreciate that it's a 10.
Yeah, it kind of has to be, right? Like,
No, it doesn't
Is it?
have to be.
I figured it'd be number 1.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, it shouldn't even be on the list. It's not a game.
It's the only one Nate's played on this list so far, but it's not the game.
I'm on a roll right now.
Bring in the burn. I like
Yeah.
it, Nate.
Number 9 is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It's probably about right.
Great game.
People speak so they speak so passionately about that game. Anyone I know that's played it, so even though I haven't and it's not my game, I have a hard time arguing that it should be in the top 10.
Neither of you
It's
guys
definitely
would
a
like
top
it.
10 game if I ever played it.
No, you wouldn't like it.
Oh, okay. Is it an RPG?
It's like Skyrim.
Yeah, it's like Skyrim.
No, I didn't like Skyrim.
Yeah.
It's like Fortnite.
It's getting its own Netflix show coming soon. Dude in a bathtub.
Yeah. Not
Good
based on the
stuff.
games, though.
No, the graphic novels or whatever, or novels. I don't know. I
Yeah.
didn't know it was books. Who knew?
Yeah, it's all books.
All right, I got this next one. I
Okay,
got it.
what's number 8?
Horizon Zero Dawn. Because it's the only game I really played. Spider-Man?
No, it's Dark Souls.
Okay.
Which
Yeah, I had that game from Ryan one time. Didn't play it.
I didn't give you Dark Souls that don't own it.
Oh. Are you sure?
Yep.
those never. I've tried a couple times. Just could not get attached to it. Number 7 is a game that doesn't even exist anymore. Any guesses?
Flappy Bird.
That's a good guess, but it's not. It's more like a demo that doesn't exist anymore.
PT.
Yeah.
Nailed it. So we're talking 100 greatest games of this decade, and we're talking about a demo for a game that was never made. And that makes the list.
Mm-hmm. And the demo is walking through one singular hallway many times over and over and over again.
It has
So-
cracked the top 10.
This is just definitive proof that this list is utter fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Don't believe a damn thing.
I mean, it's effective. If you've ever watched a playthrough of PT, it certainly does its job. But It's weird that it would be up this high.
It's not a game.
Nope. Doesn't even exist anymore. From what I understand now, even if you downloaded it, you can't even connect to the internet because it will delete it.
Yeah.
So
They did a hard recall delete on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that I heard somebody's rebuilding it in Unity or Unreal Engine or
Okay.
something, but yeah. No, that's stupid. That shouldn't even be on this list.
Nope. Number 6, League of Legends. Sure.
Never
Whatever.
played it. Great.
Number 5 is Pokemon Go.
Okay.
People still play that.
Yeah, it's a big thing. I hate this list.
Number 4 is Kentucky Route Zero.
What the fuck is that?
Exactly. It's like a adventure game for PC.
Oh, yeah.
earlier this
Huge
year.
game.
Yeah.
Wild. Top fucking 5 of the decade for sure. Kentucky Fried Chicken. Good job. Good for you, man. Glad the Colonel got some respect.
I've heard it's good, but number 4. Oof. We're getting in the top 3. Number 3 is Spelunky.
Excuse me while I step away and smash my brain into the wall for a few seconds here.
I kind of didn't like that game.
It's fine, right? How does a game that plays on the prior 20 years of nostalgia and retro gaming make it your top 3?
Yeah.
Again, these are the top 100 games of the decade.
Yep.
I feel like they didn't put too much thought on this, that they just wrote a whole bunch of games down, pulled them out of a hat, and said,
What date was this published?
okay,
Was it
sounds
April
good.
1st? When did this list come out?
This week, I think.
Oh
fuck
my
this
gosh.
Yeah. Well, it had to be because Death Stranding's on here. So
Oh yeah, good point. The game that's not out yet made the list. Good job, Polygon.
yeah.
They got an early copy. That's how they knew.
I mean, there was people that really got into Spelunky. I didn't quite get. I like the run-based stuff, but
Right.
I don't get it. I really hated the time. Like the ghost would come after a certain amount of time. Like you couldn't explore as much as you wanted to. But that's my own problem.
Play Sydney Hunter. Better game.
That's probably not on this list.
No.
Number 2 is a game that we've all played.
Red Dead.
Destiny 2. Red Dead.
Nintendo.
Breath of the Wild.
Odyssey.
Zelda. Yeah.
Breath of the Wild.
It's great.
It's great, but in the context of 10 years, I have a hard time putting it there.
And
Top 5.
all systems.
Yeah. Top
Yeah,
5,
that's-
though.
I don't even know if it makes top 5 for me. I mean, I love it. I love it, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Whatever. This is at least a logical fucking choice. What's number 1?
Any guesses?
Wait.
Oh, boy.
Start off is it going to make us angry?
No, but once you hear it, it's obvious.
Minecraft?
Yeah.
Really?
That didn't come out. Wasn't that over a decade ago?
That's been out forever.
That's true.
I feel like
wonder
that's
if I
12
was-
years. What the fuck was the release date?
Are they
10
going for
years ago, it
most
says.
influential?
Wow. I don't know, man. Minecraft is still popping. Even though it's not like top of the streaming charts, it's still going strong. It's still a great game.
Oh yeah, every time I pop it in, like you get that bug, like, oh, I got to build.
Oh, yeah,
this.
like 3 hours pass.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
I'm gonna fucking build a mud hut, and then it's like 4 a.m. You're like, what the fuck happened?
Yep.
Yeah,
But is it a game? Do you consider it a game?
Yeah, it has an objective.
It does now.
You need to get
yeah.
you need to get the ender things to find the portal and defeat the dragon, and yeah, absolutely, it's a game.
That's not the fun part though. Like I wouldn't say
No,
that's
fuck no. The fun part is logging into your online server, looking out your window of your hilltop house to see a giant floating cock and balls outside your window. That's the fun part of Minecraft. The random human element. True story. I like it. I like it a lot. And I highly recommend everyone who has a Wii U pick up the Wii U version of that. Because the like Nintendo themed and built area that's like all Mario-ish is totally worth the price of admission. It's so cool.
Oh, I knew they had skins, but I didn't know they had like other
you can
stuff
like
in there.
load into a whole prefabricated Mario themed like theme park. It's fucking awesome.
Huh, that's cool.
Do it.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right choice for how big it was too. Still is.
Yeah. Will it ever get a sequel? That's the real question. Or do they just perpetually update Minecraft?
I think they perpetually do it because what do you do in
Yeah.
a sequel? Because then you're like, do we make the graphics better or do we keep them blocky?
Right.
And people are going to want one or the other. It's going to be a 50-50 split. So why even go down that road?
Yeah, whatever you do will never be as successful as what came before.
Yep.
Kind of like Blizzard with Titan. Like they just pulled the plug.
Yep.
Like, no, WoW was it. Awful list. Go fuck yourself, Polygon. I mean, we're an opinionated bunch of assholes on this podcast, and we could, without even trying, come up with a better top 100 list than this garbage that you put in front of us.
So what's your
Good on
guys'
you.
number one?
In the context of a decade,
Yep.
I mean, that's probably a good pick. It's hard to overlook the last 2.5 years of Fortnite's existence. I would probably agree with Nate that Horizon Zero Dawn should have made that top 25 somewhere. Breath of the Wild is obviously a good choice. I don't know that I could do a number one.
Red Dead.
No, GTA 5 should have been in the top 5.
I was going to
GTA
check
5
that out.
is a fantastic experience. Red Dead's awesome, but to me Red Dead doesn't even like it scales back so much of what GTA 5 already had in place. It themes everything fantastically, but
Did GTA even hit the list?
That's what I was checking
Right.
the bottom to see if it even
it's
got in there.
bullshit that it didn't because it's still a hugely popular game.
Monster Hunter World is 88.
Fuck that.
Kim Kardashian
Okay.
Hollywood is 86.
What?
Are you joking?
Do you think he's joking with this list?
All right.
I don't know that I can pick a number one. In the top 10, for doing the constraints of Minecraft is in the last decade, Minecraft deserves to be there. Fortnite should be there. Breath of the Wild should be there. Horizon Zero Dawn should be there. Grand Theft Auto 5 should be there.
They have GTA Online at 65. I don't know if they're counting.
That's not a
The whole
separate
thing?
fucking game.
Yeah, I don't know. Ooh, Frog Fractions made the list though.
Ooh. That's at least clever though, right?
Yeah.
Gosh, what else does make that list? What else cracks the top 10? 10 years. Like a lot happened in 10 years. The Last of Us, you're right. The Last of Us cracks top 10.
I think so. There's no other Uncharted on here.
Right. Halo shouldn't make it anywhere near it. Because that's come and gone. I don't know, what are some of those other like seminal things?
Things that I couldn't even, like Portal 2. Like
Yeah.
was this decade.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nuts.
Absolutely. Rocket League should be top 10, right?
Yeah.
And that was a phenomenon. It still is to some extent. Yeah, that list is bullshit. This list makes me way more angry than the game Informer one. It's like they didn't even take the medium seriously. That's the bad part.
I don't know what they were trying to do, because like you're putting like Fortnite in there because it's popular, because of the influence, and like Pokemon Go because of the influence, but then you put
Right.
Kentucky Route Zero above that. Like it's just a clashing mentality,
Right.
because that just seems like a fan favorite, and they rated it too high.
Bunch of bullcrap.
Yeah,
No Beat Saber.
that is
How is
number
that not-
70 something.
Yeah,
77.
but based on the kitschiness and bullshittiness of this list,
yeah,
Beat Saber is like number fucking 2. I'm sorry.
Cuphead is 95. Like,
Wow. Can't even. On a scale of 1 to 10, I can't even.
even like The Walking Dead, Telltale, like that first one was something incredible.
That was the thing.
That's number 91, but I think they drove that whole genre into the ground pretty quick.
Yeah. Gosh.
Journey's got to be my number one for sure, but other than that, I don't know.
Did Brother: A Tale of Two Sons charts
It's-
at all?
It's not on here.
Such a great game. I
Yeah.
love that game. What about Valiant Hearts?
No.
Gosh, that was another great game. Limbo?
Yes, they matched it with Inside,
What do you mean they matched it?
so they counted Limbo and
They counted the
Inside as-
combo?
Yeah,
So they took two distinctly produced separate fucking video games and gave the combo disc a rating.
yep, number 51.
All right, let's wrap this shit up.
Yeah.
Nate,
Well, obviously, Ryan's not happy with this list, nor am I.
nobody's happy with this
No one's
list.
happy with this list. Why don't you send us a list of what you think your top 10 games would be for this decade? You can send it to weekendrentalpodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you're following us on all of our social medias, Facebook and Twitter. And you can check us out on YouTube as well. You can find all things Weekend Rental at weekendpodcast.com as well as geekcade.com. And as always, be kind, rewind.
Who's that Metabot?
Squirtle.
Super Monkey Ball bananas. It sucks. It's so good. It's so good. It sucks. It's awful. It's ugly. I love it so much.
You can fit it up your butt and play Zelda. What's not to love?